introduction. I now understand better why lead acts, if you will, have those the setup acts. Okay, you guys are great to follow. The bar's low enough now, I don't think I can screw it up. I'm just kidding. A little bit, I guess. I've heard you all talk about, how do you know somebody, getting somebody new, and I asked Tim this the other day. I want to find out just how long people have been in Central Ohio. By a show of hands, does anybody remember the folk singing group, the New Folk Singers? Ah, we have one, Tim. Okay, that is the group that through high school and college that Tim and my first wife were members of. So someday when you have a moment, he has a couple beers, ask Tim about the New Folk Singers and their tour of Vietnam in 1969, their appearance on the All-American College Show in '68, and the bit of fame that they enjoyed. Great guitar player, an excellent group, and that's our history. We are about 328 or so days away from the 2016 U.S. Senior Open Championship. I know that pretty close because a year ago I was out in Oklahoma City for the 2014 event, which is what the USGA encourages us to do, to go to visit the venue of the championship and then learn from them. And this past summer I was in San Francisco at Del Paso Country Club. And what I saw in Oklahoma was kind of cool. They had a clock, and it was in the golf shop, and it was counting down to the moment of the first tee, first ball in the air on that morning. And that particular time, it was 3 days and 22 hours and some minutes. I said, boy, that'd be cool to have. We need something like that. Well, we did. And it's the worst thing I've ever dreamed of. When I'm gone a week and I come back, I've lost 7 days. And that clock keeps telling me we're getting closer and closer, and there's so much to be accomplished. A good segue to volunteering, as a matter of fact. We're going to need approximately 2,000 volunteers to pull this off. That pales in comparison to what the memorial utilizes every year, but I'm confident, and we are seeing that there's a lot of that talent that would like to come and be part of this. We have about 500 folks that have signed up, so we're needing at least 1,500 more. I heard about 10 people that may be wanting to do the polar bear event here. If you, Tim, love the polar bear event, you're really going to like the Senior Open. It's played in August. It's going to be warm. You can wear shorts. Okay? So those 10, you're in. Just email me and I'll get you any job you want. You can go online. You'll see the website in a moment. But it's 2016USSeniorOpen.com. And it's a great website, and it'll lead you everywhere you want to go, not only to tickets and hospitality, but definitely to volunteering. Speaking of hospitality, I'm getting the commercial out of the way early because after the presentation, we do some Q&As and I can let you go. We do have hospitality available still. It's extremely important. It's part of the philanthropy of golf. We are hosting a number of charities throughout the preparation of the event, and being part of this is large for Central Ohio. We believe that the tournament will generate over $15 million of economic benefit to Central Ohio, which is huge. Standing here today, we still have several of the trophy room tables available. Table of 10, $28,000. That's 7 days of entertainment and all the food and beverage you can enjoy. On the golf course, we have chalets and villas ranging up to $75,000 to $95,000. Again, if you're thinking about team building within your organization, an opportunity to bring folks out 80 to 100 at a time, in again, a great environment, a beautiful setting, wonderful hospitality, catered by Cameron Mitchell. It's all first class, all first quality. So those are some thoughts for you. Again, you'll see volunteering when you get on the website for a modest sum of about $125. You're going to get a golf shirt, a cap, a wind shirt, and a pass for the 7 days for your efforts. And for another $30, you get a second shirt. So it's a pretty good deal. Let's move into what we're going to try to pull off. The golf course, as you may know, living in Central Ohio, will be 100 years old next year. founded in 1916 and designed by the famous Donald Ross. The routing remains his original routing, although there have been a couple of tweaks over time. Most significantly in 1960, when Dick Wilson was engaged to come in and do a refresh. This was rather common at that time for Ross-era courses. Again, he was designing golf courses for, I don't think we had the featheries back then, but certainly perch balls and balata covers and the like, and the technology of the equipment certainly had not reached the status that it had by the 60s, and certainly not today. So Dick Wilson came in and did again, a major redo of the golf course. Unfortunately, he passed away halfway through the job. He was there and worked on the front nine, and then his team finished the back nine. I never really noticed that big a difference. I knew that the greens were of a different shape, obviously, front to back, but it was Jack Nicklaus that pointed out around 2000 that how significantly different they were, and explaining why, because Dick Wilson did the front nine and his team did the back nine. So in 2008, 2009, Jack Nicklaus collaborated with Mike Hertzen here in Central Ohio to do another refresh. The golf course today is their work as well as Dick Wilson and certainly Donald Ross. So we have a gem right now. It is absolutely spectacular to play and to see, and the apple's being polished every moment from now forward. So those of you that have a chance to come over and join us for a round, please do, and then spread the word. It'll be a great event. If nothing, then because of the golf course itself. As we move on, I've got a couple slides here. We'll see if I can make this work. You go page up. Nope. How do you make this thing out?
Just hit it.
Oh, there we go. Swipe your finger. It's not a Mac. Oh, there we go. Page down. There we go. Scioto has been the home of, to date, 5 majors. The 26 U.S. Open, won by Bobby Jones, who, by the way, never parred the 9th hole, the par 3. A little bit of trivia there. We were the host of the 31 Ryder Cup, won by the USA. Mr. Chandler won the PGA when it was played as a match play event back in 1950. In '68, Bruce Fleischer won the U.S. Amateur there. I remember that. I walked the fairways as a young kid, marveling at their prowess. And in 1986, we hosted our first U.S. Senior Open. And I will tell you that the Senior Open today compares favorably in prestige, in media coverage, and in quality of play that the U.S. Open did back in the 80s. It's come that far. In '86, I think that was the 5th Senior Open. It was still new to the world of golf, and they weren't quite sure how this was going to be received and whatnot. And it was contested very well at Scioto, and that was our last major, if you will. And now, 2016, the anniversary of our 100th anniversary, we get to host it once again. Again, we talk about the impact this will have on Central Ohio. I mentioned it already, over $15 million of economic benefit. There will be 240 credentialed media here from all over the world. The seniors now are coming from almost every continent of our globe, and so it has achieved a very significant world exposure. We're expecting, over the course of the 4 days of competition plus the practice rounds, over 125,000 spectators. And if you've been to Scioto Country Club, it's not a huge venue, so when we put 25,000 people a day out there, it's going to feel big. And it'll be intimate, and we're excited about that. 156 professionals and amateurs over the age of 50 is who will be competing, and the Fox Network will be televising. This is kind of cool. This is the first year for Fox to take over golf from NBC, and it was at the U.S. Open. It was their first effort. That was out in California, up in Oregon. This past June, and then the Senior Open in Del Paso, I believe, was 2 weeks later. And NBC is used to hosting these events they tell me, 8 to 10 trailers of equipment. You can imagine logistics of trying to pull this thing together. So when I went out to Del Paso to spend 3 days to see how they were coming together, the Fox people were just arriving, and they brought in 24 semi-trailers of equipment. Fox had cameras everywhere. You went to the men's room, you covered yourself with money. Just to be safe, just to be safe. It was a phenomenal amount of coverage. Joe Buck, I think, is turning out to be he's a great sports announcer anyway, and I don't know where he learned golf, but he learned it pretty quickly. And Holly, I mean, pretty cute. So just Fox is going to do a very, very good job. We're excited about them being there. Players, we're excited this year. There are 4 new seniors coming on board: John Daly, Vijay Singh, Davis Love III, and Jose Maria. I lost my ball. Olafal. Again, current champion, Jerry McGee, won last year at Del Paso. He's a great champion, and he's agreed already to help host a couple of pre-tournament events for us in anticipation of next year. Freddie Couples will be here, Kenny Perry, Jay Haas, Nick Price, Tom Lehman, just names we all know from golf in the past. We think we do have a superior facility. It's going to be a first-class operation managed by HNS Sports. They're the same folks that have done the Memorial for the last several years. They did the President's Cup last year, or was it 2 years ago, at the Memorial. Dan Sullivan, Kip Erickson, and the team know how to host golf, and is very excited to have them on board for that reason. And now we get to, again, a little more commercial here. Weekly grounds tickets will be available and are available for $135 right now. And the 16 Club is something that you want to consider if you're coming out, at least for more than a day. There'll be a large tented area in the meadow, left of the 13th fairway, left of the 14th fairway, and then left of the 15th fairway. That large meadow there, it'll be superior alcohol, superior beers, superior soft drinks, and superior food in a nice environment, kind of central to the activity that'll be going on late in the day. As I mentioned before, we have lots and lots of opportunities for volunteers. The captains have been selected. They're monitoring the website as you go in and take a look at what's available, what areas of interest you may have, whether it be marshalling, carrying the standard bearers, whether it be ticketing, gate access, in-club hospitality, security. I don't care how young or old you are, how fit or unfit you may be, we have a position for you. And we just hope that you would consider joining us. There's a picture of the golf course. It will play about 70, I don't know if it's listed here or not. Yes, 7,140 yards at a par 70. They will turn the 8th hole into a par 4. And those that played the golf course some years back but haven't played it recently, last year we modified the 8th hole and took it back closer to what Donald Ross had imagined, or what he had routed back in 1916. The moat is gone. We now have, it's the same driving area that always was, but now you're hitting across a body of water to a tiered green with a runoff to the back right, with bunkers and water left, bunkering to the right. It's almost, not literally, but very challenging to try to skip the ball up through the small gap to reach the green. And if you did that, it'd scoot off the back anyway. So the professionals will be hitting driver 3-wood depending upon the wind that day, and then their approaches will be anywhere from, it's a 505-yard hole, but they'll be hitting literally 7-8 irons or 6 irons into that green in the quest of a birdie. And the green is shaped rather unusually now with different tiers there. There'll be some exciting pin placements. And it's a great place to watch the golf course, to see the event from. So again, great golf course. We're going to have spectacular weather August 8th to 14th historically has never seen a drop of rain in Central Ohio. I'm sure of that. That's why I took the job in the first place. But most importantly, you're going to see spectacular golf. These gentlemen can play the game, and we should all marvel at that. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Will you be